What up, guys? This is Dr. Vic. You're listening to another episode here on the Mindful Experiment. Excited to have you on as today's topic, I think, is going to be impactful for many. I'm taking this from coaching clients, talking to patients, and just my little database that I have, social media and so forth, and the conversations that are coming up, the things that are going on, and what are things that you can do through the chaos. Now, life is always ever changing. Some people feel like it's more chaotic than ever. Some feel like it's not. And I want to just give you something and share with you to what you can do that aligns with quantum physics, universal laws, some fun neuroscience. So the science is all there to support. In other words, that will allow you to kind of shift gears here a little bit and stay in what you want to create and whatnot. So before I get into all that, I hope you had an opportunity to check out the Coptic Center's virtual summit they had. It was absolutely amazing. Over 2,000 attendees were there. It was great. It was one of those things. So if you check that out, greatly appreciate it. There is a way to permanently watch all of them anytime you like, all the presenters. I have a link in the show notes for you to go to that. So please check that out. Join our Facebook group. We're doing some great things up there. We're starting to really develop, getting some, sharing some content on there. We've kind of been a little off social media a little bit, but we're coming back and getting excited to continue sharing on there. One thing I am behind is my program all about unlocking your greatness, returning to source. Truly, it is the program to guide you to really understand manifestation. How does it work? Understanding the process of surrender. What are you doing that blocks you from it? All the things that happens from there. How to let that go to really allow the flow to happen, and so much more. I have the wait list all up and running. We have a great list, good size list on there already. So if this is something that you're just looking to, this is for someone who just wants to, either in your business and you want to achieve more success, more freedom, more time, whether you're not in business, you're in a career and you want to level up and create that freedom and time more for yourself, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you just want to have a better relationship with your kids and your family and so much more. This relates to every facet of life. And so to be in your health, if somebody wants to learn how to become healthier and not be caught up into, you got to take this pill or that thing or do this or do that to be healthy. Health is an inside job, and it all starts here in the mind first. And when you can really master that, you can master your health and so much more. And so I'll be sharing all these different principles. The principles I share in there will affect every facet. So join the wait list. One of the big incentives about joining that wait list is you get a huge discount on the program that I will not market anywhere else. And you'll know when it's coming out. I'm going to open up the window to the people on the wait list first. And there's two things that you can do. You have an online program where you can just go do it yourself, or you can do it with me in a group coaching session. And it will be able to, I'll walk you through each week of the content and how to apply it, questions, bring the community together, and so much more. I'm really excited about this. This is something that I've been working on for years, and it's all starting to come together and just feels right. So we're really passionate about it. So get on that wait list now. Go to the show notes, click on it, put your name and email, get on there because we're releasing this program here very soon. All right, that being said, let's dive in. So chaos has been going around in a lot of different ways. I've been talking to people about this, and there's something called the Schumann resonance that I highly recommend checking out, 7.83 hertz. And what that is it's the electromagnetic frequency of the earth. Now, some people say when the lightning strikes and hits the earth, it hits a frequency at that, but this is what it's emitting. But there's been times as of last week, a couple weeks ago, a week before that, where it's been off the charts, which means there's huge shifts happening. Earth is going through a huge shift. Why is this important to us as humans? Is because we are part of Earth. We are interconnected. There's no separateness. Just like whatever's going on with the planets, how they align and all that stuff affects us, and vice versa. What we do here affects them. So it's an interconnected relationship. And so because of that, when we have these off the charts readings, it creates a lot of various things. It could be symptoms, headaches, dehydration, not sleeping well at night. It can be things like pain comes up, old stuff coming up, or things that you've been kind of holding back and not trying to ignore because you just don't want to face it because it's uncomfortable or whatever that may be. And it's trying to work through the stuff so we can elevate ourselves, right? But in there comes a lot of chaos. And for some people, it's more chaos than others. And if you look in the world today, you can say it's the most chaotic it's going to be, or the worst is yet to come. Or where you hear a lot of people say who follow the Bible saying how the end of times is here, which I've been hearing that for 25 years. But anyhow, it's here. And here's what it looks like. And so these are all these different things that are showcasing, and you can get easily sucked up in it. You can get easily distracted from it, and it will pull you away. And if you've been feeling like any of these, then please listen to this. Now, this is stuff if you've been following my podcast for a long time, you know I've already talked about these things. You already know this stuff. But I'm doing this because of the conversations that I've been having, again, with clients, with patients, and so forth, of how much of this turbulence is and what's happening in the matrix and how people are being influenced and affected. And I want you to be able to shine your light. I want you to be able to be staying centered and focused of what matters for you and what's more purposeful for you at the end of the day. So that's the whole purpose of why I felt this was impelled to do this topic and so much more. And so no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what you're facing, what a challenge you're having, the key principle is one, if you're feeling like you have let me get back here. If you feel like you have a racing mind, you've been having heart palpitations, you've been getting in the state of anxiousness and anxiety and things along that nature, then what we want to do is we got to shut the noise down first. Because anytime we have fear, worry, and anxiety in our life, you are worrying about something into the future. That's the only way those emotions exist. And when those happen, you'll have it saying, oh, it's going to happen at some point in the future. Let's say you've had some sort of trauma in your past and it puts you in a situation where you think that this is going to show up again. You get into this fear, worry, and anxiety center. Or if something resembles something in the past, you think it's going to be here in the future. So you get into those states. For those who feel that, what you need to do is reset the nervous system. You have to reset your energy field, your chi, your actual energy field, your aura, your morphogenic field, the biophotonic field, field. So it's these things that you're going to have to reset. And so again, breath work, meditation, grounding, getting into earth, put your bare feet on there. If you're near a beach, put your feet in the sand, connect with nature, hug a tree for a minute. The hippies had it right. It really does reset your energy field a little bit. It helps ground you, and trees are the most grounding out of anything out there. And so you want to connect in those ways to help reset the energy fields. Because when your energy is off, okay, and you ground to earth, what it'll do is it'll reset the energy field of you back to the natural harmonic field that you should be at. And it helps. This is why people who do grounding, who've never done before, notice they have less pain. They have better mental clarity. There's science behind all this stuff. You can Google this stuff. I've been doing grounding since 2007, and I love it. I have a grounding sheet I sleep on every night. I try to get as much grounding as I can when I'm outside, and so much more. So there's a lot of grounding that you can do that has a lot of health benefits. But in this topic and what we're talking about today, I want it to be more referenced about how to reset and recenter your energy. Okay. The second is going to be breath work. It's going to do any type of breathing, 4-7-8. Okay, that stimulates the vagus nerve. Breathe less in and breathe out longer. So breathe in a shorter period of time than you would breathe out. That's going to stimulate your vagus nerve. That's the science behind it. You can do a 4-7-8. You can do a square breathing with more out breath. It does not matter. But if you need to stimulate the vagus nerve, that's what you do. You breathe in 4 seconds, breathe out 8 seconds. And what it'll do is, at first, you're going to notice it's hard to do that because you're so revved, neurologically speaking. So you're going to go ahead and do this breathing to center and get that nervous system to calm down. When the nervous system calms, your energy calms. When your energy system's calm, then all of a sudden the body can feel that relaxation and you can start navigating and centering. This is critical before we do anything else. We just got to get you back to neutral point. And so this is where those kind of things can happen. Meditation is another one. This is what I've been doing through these storms the last couple months. It has been affecting me. This is why one of my programs that I'm trying to get out there, the Unlock Your Greatness program, one of the delays is because I've been having a mental block in creativity. And I don't want to put a program out there that I'm not 100% behind. I want to make sure that I'm excited about it. I'm passionate about it because I know you can feel that. Even though you're not in front of me, you can feel that energy. And so you can tell when I'm really passionate about something and when I'm not. And so the key factor behind that is how to then, I've been working on meditation and just really slowing things down. So that way I can get my mind to get back to where I want it to be so I can be centered because I could feel this energy. It is very strong and intense. And normally I don't get affected by these things that much. Lately I have been. And so I've just been really focusing on my meditations a lot better, focusing on more self-care, not really revving as much. So I don't do a lot. I'm not doing as much as like on the business work for my businesses because I'm like, I need time for me right now. I just need to center myself and take care of me. I'm not worried about if I'm not posting on social media all the time. I'm connecting with my clients. Like I'm doing the things that I need to do to keep my businesses running. And keep them at the level they need to be. But I'm really just focusing on me and centering myself because it has been chaotic. And although everything has been great and amazing, my life is very blessed, very abundant, and just so excited for all that's coming and what I'm going through right now. But there's that creative side of it where I'm like, I need to slow down. I just need to take time for me. And I know this is all going to clear at some point. So that's kind of where, and I'm just sharing a personal thing that I'm going through. And it's one of those things, this is what I do. And meditation has been the one for me right now. I'm actually going to be shifting into a blend of breathwork and meditation here starting this weekend. I'm going to start with a very 45-minute to an hour breathwork and just allow myself, get my energy to reset again even more. I start getting back into cold plunging. I kind of let that go for the last 3 months. Because it was just that feeling. And I know that a cold plunge actually revs and stresses the nervous system. So if I'm already feeling worn down and broken down and I go add that on, I know it's not going to benefit. And that's why I stopped doing it for a little bit. But now I feel like I'm getting back to really like I can use a little cold. Not all the time, once or twice a week for now. And I'm going to see how I'm feeling. And I'm going to trust my intuition, that internal guidance system or the soul, the compass within, your soul's navigator, however you want to call that, and to navigate how I'm doing so I know if I'm in alignment for what I need to do. So there's a personal thing that I'm going through right now, and I wanted to share that with you. So you have the first thing first is grounding. Second is going to be breath work and then meditation. This is going to center you. Now, what I want you to do then is ignore everything. Now, ignore what you're focusing on, about what you're complaining about, what you're talking about the most. That's not great. Humans have a thing of wanting to beat the drum over and over and over again, right? This is what happens to me in life. This is how it's always been. Here we go through this experience. Here the earth. Here comes the manifestation. Here it is. This is up. Yep. Here it is. Here it is again. Here's what I go through every single time. Here it comes. And you just keep beating the same drum to the same song. And then you're wondering why you're not manifesting anything different. Ignore all the negative, everything. I want you to ignore. If you got weeds in the grass, I don't want you to look at the weeds. I want you to focus on the grass. I want you to focus on what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, what really lights you up. And for some people, I've been asking that question, even clients of mine, and they're like, I don't know, doc. I'm like really burned out right now. I don't know. And I'm like, that's fine. So how do we get you out of where you are and elevate up? Right? And they look and they go, that's what I'm paying you for. And I was like, I got you. So, but the thing is, you want to elevate the mood just a notch up, right? If we're feeling like guilt, shame, depressed, anger is a good one to follow after that. And you work yourself way up the emotional ladder. Anger, I forget all of that. I could put a post on this, but it's going to be these various emotions to keep going up. I'm not saying to go from anger to joy. That's a huge leap. We just got to go a little at a time. So one of the things, Abraham Hicks talks a lot about this in her work, 17 seconds, right? You just need to change the focus in the story to something just a little different, a little more uplifting, whatever it is, for 17 seconds. And then another 17 seconds, you'll have another thought that comes through. And another 17 seconds, you'll have another one that will come through. And another one that will come through. In 68 seconds, you can literally change your vibe. Now, this is what she speaks on. And I think sometimes that's really accurate. And I think sometimes it isn't. It just depends on what it is. If I have something that's really gut-wrenching, 68 seconds is I've tried it. It doesn't, for me at least, it doesn't. But I know over time it will. And I know I can shift out of that. And so the key factor for you is just figuring out then, okay, this is the weeds. The weeds can be business isn't growing where I want it to be. I'm less than where I was last year. I'm not making as much money. I have more bills right now. I have stress in my relationship. Going through a divorce. I'm going through a breakup. I have this health issue going on here. I've been having this thing going on here. I got some bad news over here. Whatever that is, that's the weeds. I want you to ignore that. And I want you to focus on what really matters and what really that you really care about. So for business owners, when I usually talk to them about, what matters? What do you want to do? I just want to make more money, doc. I need, if it's a chiropractor, I need new patients. If it's this, I need that. And I'm always like, well, if you want to make more money, okay, well, what's the money give you? right? What's behind that? Because money's nothing. If you chase money, you're going to be like 98 or 99% of people all fighting for that small basket when the 1% gets all 97% of everything. So it's the key factor of, well, then what is it that 1% does really, really well? And that's what I've studied to see then how do they gain the 97 is they follow what their joy is and their bliss is. What excites them? What gives them a purpose and excitement in life? What are the things that they enjoy and the reasons why they do what they do, right? Well, you can make it as saying, I love making it simple. Here's how simple it can be. I want to live as happily ever. I want to live happily ever after. That's it. Everything I do, I want to live happily ever after. To be in a state of bliss at all times. And to be excited for everything that I do every single day. And so I know that every single day I have a choice to do that. Right? I just did a podcast on some of the stuff a few episodes ago. And so the thing is, you can utilize these things to focus on what really matters. Focus on that grass. What are the things of why you do what you do? Why did you start that business in the first place? What's the purpose for you? When you got into that relationship, why did you get into that relationship? Why was that person special to you? In my old chiropractic office, I used to have a big thing in bold. For any patient listening, you remember it. It said, remember why you started. And I put that as big as I could. And I wanted it to be seen because I wanted patients to always remember why they started care. Because the majority of the time people will leave not because it's, oh, I got better and that's it. And they look at it from an allopathic model, but they did it because they forgot the actual reason why. What drove them, right? And so the thing comes when it comes to a relationship, this is a great one. I'll get back to remembering why. If let's say you've been married for 20 years and you just don't feel the spark is as strong as it used to be, go look at your wedding pictures and just sit there and focus on that and tap back into that joy, into that why. I promise it'll come. At some point it will. Do some breath work beforehand. And then what will happen is you'll have these feelings that will come up. And then that's what you focus on. And every single day you say, this is what I'm creating. Here it is again. Today I get to create that. Here it is today. I get to create that. Here it is today. I get to create that. Oh, we had another argument. Nope. Here it is. This is what we're creating. Oh, I had another argument. Oh, we didn't talk for 2 days. Here it is what I'm creating. You don't let the certain circumstances affect, because remember, there's a buffer time on when you make a shift. So you have to understand things have to work itself out to that new vibration before you manifest it. The same thing in business. Oh man, I got in business because I wanted to help people. Let's say you're a coach and you just want to help. Let's say you're a fitness coach and you just want to help people get better in shape. You see the health declines in the world. You want to get better. You're passionate about yourself. You wish you knew these things sooner, and so forth. It's like me being a pediatric chiropractor. I was asked a couple weeks ago, why did I become one? And I said, it's actually two reasons. One, I saw the stats of the health of American kids, which was not okay. Back then it was 53% chronic illnesses. I heard it's even more now. And the second reason was my journey and my story. And if I can just help kids at what I went through, from bilateral clubfoot to dying almost at 4.5 years old with bacterial meningitis because of all the antibiotics I was given, to not being a breastfed kid, which back then it was not that popular, or not being pushed as much, to supposedly going to have a arthritic hip, and he need a hip replacement at the age of 30. I'm 41 years old right now, and my hip is clear as it can be. And so I think I'm doing pretty decent there. But the other thing is the bedwetting until 11, 12 years old. I mean, the emotional effects from that, and just all this stuff. And it's like, man, if I can help one kid, I'm good. And I just remember myself as a kid wishing I had that person who can have been there to help me break out of those patterns and to help me shift and be that person. And so I never forget that. And it's what actually pulled me back into practicing chiropractic. And so the thing with your life, and if you're in a business, whether you're a chiropractor or whatever, it's remembering, if you're in a career, why did you choose that career? What were the reasons why? Get back to that. Ignore the noise, ignore the grass. I mean, the weeds. I know it's hard sometimes. You have to ignore everything. Oh, look at the world today. Trump's president, he's killing everything, or Trump's president, everything's amazing. It's amazing in the perils of the world where we are, and the polar opposites. But you have to stay focused and centered in order to thrive through all this. And the key factor is going to be ignore the weeds, focus on the grass. The grass is the why you do what you do, right? Why is health important? I love working out, and it has nothing to do with trying to stay in my peak physical shape or being in the best. I said I'd be in the best shape of my life in my 40s, and I would continue it on for the rest of my life. I've said that since my mid 30s. And it's one of those things where I work out because my body I can do this with my body. Right? It's like a tool. You have a new tool, let's say in construction or whatever that you can relate this to. And it's like, oh God, this is so cool. I want to do this. I want to play with this more. And so it's like, my body can do this. I don't know when my body's not going to be able to do this. but I get the opportunity to work out and challenge it and stress it so that I can become better. It's sharpening that knife so it can be better into the world. It can be more resilient to handling the various stressors that show up. That's the beauty of why I work out. And I'm so grateful every time. I just did a workout before I got here, jumped on to do this podcast. And it's like, I was just so grateful before I was walking down. I'm like, man, I'm just grateful I was able to do that workout today. And I was able to stress myself, got a little sweaty. I was able to got out of breath. I was able to challenge this body because I know I'm nurturing it in the ways of what it needs to thrive. And I just tell myself that story every single time. Not that, oh, here's 2 days later, or maybe my back might be achy for a couple of days, or my knees bother me here and there, or my wrist may be bugging me. I don't pay attention to that. I just keep doing what I need to do. And I keep saying to my body, here's where it is. I'm so grateful for that. You know what? It works. It works. Felt great today. Great workout. Feeling absolutely amazing today. And so these are the things that I'm sharing, different aspects, different stories, plus my own, to try to give you a reality of all that. Okay. So regardless where you are, a lot of people may have the fear, worry, anxiety. The same thing works for anger, resentment, and frustration. You're looking into the past instead of the future, into where you are now. And so the one thing I do want to emphasize, I'm sharing some stuff here that you can apply and it'll drastically be huge. I know some people say you oversimplify. I had someone tell me, I was sharing literally this stuff to them. They're like, you oversimplify things. It's not that easy. I said, it's pretty much this. I'm like, it's not that hard. I go, we as humans overcomplicate things. It's our nature. We overcomplicate everything. And I said, if we just go back to simplicity and keep things simple, it works that way. Like law of manifestation, right? Law of attraction. You know how many people have written books on law of attraction? You know how many people talk about how to manifest and then they go and bash one person saying this one's wrong, you should do it this way, or this is how you're supposed to do it this way. You know how many ways people have? Law of manifestation, law of attraction, the law of vibration, that stuff is so simple. Right? It is so simple. I have many podcast episodes I've done this on. It's really, really simple to do. We've overcomplicated it because whatever that may be, right? And so it's one of these things coming back to, it's that simple to do. Reset your nervous system, focus on the grass. Reset your nervous system, focus on the grass. See yourself in the moment doing that, here and now. Okay. The point I was trying to get at just a second ago is that the moment you know, if you don't know, if you want to know, when you're not in alignment with your source is your soul. It's the true essence of who you are. It's the thing that was here. It was here before you came in this world. It'll be here afterwards. It's the non-physical part of you that lives forever, for eternity. Okay. It's a very big term. The eternity, infinity is very hard to understand for humans because our mind can't comprehend it. Yeah, you can think, well, I just live forever. Yeah, but what does that mean? Like, what do you mean you live forever? And what are the stages of time? Because we're so in a construct of time that we use that it's like when we step out of time, because there is no time there, and where we come from, it's a whole different world. But your emotions and where you are in the present guides you to where you are in alignment or not. It's that simple. Are you aligned to your source or you're not? Some people say, are you pinching off God or you're not pinching off God? Right? Remember, there's no such thing as evil. There's no such thing as darkness. None of those things exist. It's the absence of light that would causes darkness. It's the absence of your source connecting to it, letting it flow, is what allows for evil. Does that make sense? All of us are all good. It's just we pinch things off. And God is a God, prime director, creator, source energy, whatever you want to call it. All that is what I like. Has allowed you to even feel like you are totally disconnected from prime, from the source, all that is. And the thing is, you can be, no matter how much you put your mind to it. You can't, but you can feel it. You can pretend like it is, just like we live in this world. But long story short, it's the feelings that you'll have that'll guide you along the way to know if you are in alignment or not. That is the most simplest thing I can do. That is your soul's compass. That's what's going to guide you. I've talked about soul contracts on this podcast before and how that works, the architectural blueprints of things, the purpose of why that is, and so forth. And I talk to a lot of my coaching clients about this too, where it's to know what your soul chose to came and what the experiences it wanted, because it's always looking to gain more joy and love through every experience. And I said, if you're looking to find what really does that, it's your vibe of your emotions. It's going to guide you along the way. It's that simple. It will guide you to where you need to go. It'll always guide you in the process of what you want to create for yourself to the fullest level. This is what that 1% does. That's why the 1% hones in on the 97%, and then the 99% fight for that last 3%. You see it in most industries. Some percentages may be off a little here and there, but it's usually that's what we normally will see. And there's a reason behind it. And I'm sharing that with all of you today. The world may feel like it's chaotic. For me personally, I'm in a state where I sit back and it's just making some good movies. This is reality TV, and the popcorn tastes really good watching. That's where I'm at with everything. I just enjoy it. And I say, well, what do I want to create? What do I want to experience through all this? I don't care what's going on here and this happening there and this. What I care about and all I can control is right here. And I'm going to ignore the weeds and focus on the grass. The grass is your why. Do that. Start practicing. Use the breath work. Use that. If you're looking for stuff, go back and look at our episodes. We have a ton of stuff on breath work. If you are looking for a breath work session just with me on Wim Hof, I do a Wim Hof method. I have a video on YouTube. I can send that over to you, and you can dive in. I even do a meditation one. I do some. I have a couple other ones I've done. I don't get too much in that world. There's a ton of people that already do this stuff, but it's one of those things where I can get you access to some things to just play around with it a little bit to help reset that nervous system. It may feel overwhelming. It may feel like, holy cow, this is where the breath comes in. This is where meditation comes in. This is where grounding comes in. It's going to reset those energies, and then we focus on the grass and get back to the why. And every day, man, I'm so grateful. Today's a great day. I look forward to what's going to show up. I'm going to put the energy out like this. And this is what I care about, regardless what shows. Man, here comes a big bill. That don't matter. Here's what I'm putting every single day because this is what matters. I'll take care of the bill later. I may not have fun going through that. If you're in pain, right? It's like, hey, I'm in pain right now. I'm going to deal with the pain. Once the pain starts to reside and I can start to focus again, I'm going to look back at the grass and remember my why. What's my purpose? What's the journey behind that? And just continue moving forward with those things. I hope this helps. Any questions, please let me know. Sign up for the waitlist. If you're loving some of this stuff, I go much more deeper into this program that I'm sharing. Join the waitlist. Check out our Facebook group page, and check out the COP6 centers where you can see all the speakers. I'll have a link in there. And thank you again. Subscribe, like, share, review. Really gets this message out there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.